We don't take inventory until they come up.
Mucho restaurant. They've been there for 13 years, and they've been in the restaurant business for 20 years, since 2002, over 20 years. If you want to know anything about them, Christina also teaches cooking classes on, is it Tuesdays?
Tuesday morning.
Tuesday mornings. And if you're interested in looking any of that up, you can find her on Facebook and on Instagram. Is that correct? Correct, Billy? Okay, and so it's just my privilege to introduce this wonderful lady to you. One thing I like about Christina is her smile. You know, if you go into the restaurant, you just get a big smile from her and her husband too. They're both just wonderful people. So, Christina, if you'd like to come up and teach us some things about cooking.
That will be easy. Hi, how are you? Good evening, everyone. Well, thank you for the invitation. I'm nervous. I know how to speak in Spanish, and I know how to speak in English jokes. Never talking about how to manage food and beverage, you know, but I really know how to do it since we've been there for 20 years, over than 20 years. I would like to give you like information about like the correct process that restaurants or any person who manipulates food in Mexico should do it. It's not the way that they do it, but it's the way that they should do it, you know? Where are my glasses? I'm pink. Okay, first thing is like there is a law that is called NOM, N-O-M, which is normal, official, NOM 251. That's the one that rules any food process in Mexico, you know, from factories, from food expendiums, like restaurants, coffee shops, vendors, anybody, or providers like grocery stores, supermarkets, and everyone goes into this rule 251, you know. And one thing is like, if they don't know the law, they are not excused to not comply with it, you know, and that's allowed all over the world. That norm is made out of suggestions that are made for international organizations that belongs to the ONU, United Organization of Nations, which is called Codex. Codex, that's why the way to use or to proceed on food and beverage all over the world is similar, because Codex gives to all the countries, and then the way that they adapt to their countries, it's what it makes the difference, you know. But basical, well, cleanness and process to freeze the food or to wash and all the things that you have to do to keep safe and away from illness. It's the same, you know, because it's given by this organization that is called Codex. You know, what we want is what is inocuidad alimentaria, which is a food safety that we define like the characteristic that warrants us that the food that we consume doesn't harm or put our health to risk, you know, and that has to be looking during the reception of the products for every for the stores or for the restaurants, the way that they receive, what happens is a restaurant could be super clean, but if they don't care about how the provider bring the food, there will be contaminated things, like the little bugs that we don't like, That's why it's so, it marks that you need to keep the less carbox as you can in your establishments. How do I say? Yeah, and there are like divided the areas that I already told you, like the stores. Right. Here's stores. Like that. And then like restaurants. Oh, first factories. Factories, stores, restaurants, coffee shops, catering. All of us, we need to take care about it. And what we have to be aware about something that is called ETA, which is enfermedad transmitida por alimentos, or what you know as a foodborne illness. There are different kinds of ETA. It is what we want after this. ETA. Okay? I mess up between Spanish, English words, but this is what is it called, foodborne, that there are different ETAs that they consider like allergies, like infection or intoxication, and this is very important to know difference, because sometimes you say, oh, I ate this this morning and that's why I feel so bad, from my tummy. And infection will show in your body 1 or 2 days after that you ate something that it was with microbes, and it affects the mainly infection, or the one that is more known, it's like salmonella, and that's the one that comes by microbes in the food. And intoxication, it comes from food that is in not a good conditions to be ate, or eat, to be eat. How can you know if a food is good to eat or no? There are four things that you can go through, or 4 proofs that you will say, I don't think I'm gonna eat this because it will cause me illness. The smell, that's like if something that you grab from your fridge or from the store, or even when it goes to your plate in the restaurant, but if it smells bad to you, I will recommend not to eat. Why? That's one of the things, and believe me, I have heard this several times, like it smells a little bit weird, but let's rinse it and use it, and then it's like, well, that's the very first one, and I don't recommend you to eat anything that smells and then you rinse it. Oh, it doesn't smell anything. No, that product, it's about few hours to die, even when it's dead. The color, sometimes you see the food and it doesn't smell, but especially meat, it has a different color red. or a different color yellow, the chicken, you know? We say, oh, but I think I can still eat. Well, just try it. And obviously the flavor, you know? Sometimes that happens with food that is already prepared, you know, that doesn't smell and doesn't have any color, but when you try, happens a lot with beans, you know, that it has a kind of flavor, and then, oh, let's eat it. Okay, there you go. That's another way to get sick, to get probably not intoxication, but probably infection, you know, because when something start going bad, it's because it has already either way bacteria or either way microbes or something that it's not going well with that specific food. Or texture, you know, when you touch something, you can feel it. And this is super obviously in veggies and fruits, you know, like sometimes, how many times have you been taking a box of strawberries from the supermarket, and there is the white one, and you say, well, just toss it. You should toss the whole box because it's already contaminated. Because the contamination doesn't go by just touching one to each other, you know, it goes through the humidity that goes in that little box, through the I'm so sorry to see those faces that are like, how many strawberries I ate. Attached to the white one, right? Well, it's already with fungus. How do you fungus? Okay. Any of these four, I'm gonna write them: color, smell, color, flavor, or texture. If you find anything in your food like this that doesn't like you, it doesn't look beautiful, it doesn't smell wonderful, and it doesn't taste great, please toss it, you know? And what else can I tell you? Other thing that you should check to the places that you go is like the good looking of the people that is attending you and the people that is doing your food, that is preparing your food, because the law, the NOM 251, ask a lot about the personal hygiene of the people that manipulates any kind of food for our customers, obviously, and for ourselves. And first thing, they have to be covered all the way from their hair, you know. They have to not to have like big earrings or like me, lots of rings or bracelets. That's not allowed for a kitchen, not nails. Or if they wear, they should be wearing gloves all the time. And one other thing, it's that if you ever see a chef or cook that they are kind of like trying their food just to see if it tastes good, you know, but they do like it, you know, you better tell them something, you know, because they should take a spoon, try it, leave it. And it happens often than you think, you know, it happens often that you think, and the bad news that I have for you, it's even when this law exists and many people doesn't know, and many people start their businesses as a way to live, but they don't search on what are the correct process. well, many people doesn't follow all these rules, and that's why you guys come and oh, I feel bad, or their kitchens are not well sealed or well cleaned, and there goes all kind of microvirus and things that if we don't show them how to do it, well, so, healthy secretary doesn't come often to the area to do inspections. You know, that will be great. That will be great because that way people will know more and more about it. You know, you need to if you want to go search on YouTube, that it's everything, and then you will find lots of information. But if you don't want, then you need to pay someone else to give you this whole nom, and then you will know a lot. You know, even when we've been 20 years on the process, this nom has been there since 2009. There were, when we took 2 years ago the course, the whole restaurant took it. We find out that even when we know how to do things, we were doing wrong things, you know. And then that's why I would love that health secretary come often to the area and tell, because there is another thing that will contaminate food. You know, sometimes you can find in your plates hair, and that's why because they don't cover, or they need to not only cover, they need to have the hair like hanged. You know, not only just put the covering on top of it. You'll find rubber bands for the bad process of, like, you know, that they don't take care, or plastic things, or sometimes even they break. I will say for restaurants and also for yourselves at your home, you know, sometimes you are doing something, you break a glass or a plate or something, and then you just do like a quick cleaning, and then you keep processing, you know, your food. And then, well, there is a way to contaminate your food, because later on could come a little tiny piece of crystal that you left it there, you know. Then those are things that we need to be aware. And also I don't wanna. There is a it's not a process, but it's a word that we use to I remember that this is not working. Okay, we use to separate everything. It's called chato. What is chato? Chato is, I'm gonna put it in Spanish and then translate in English. It's comida, food. That's a first letter of each thing. Okay. Then humidity. Acid. Here we go. We need to consider these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things on our manipulated foods. The food, we already talked about it. If you find anything of these 4 things in your food, well, it's a signal that you need not to use it. Then humidity. What happens when you wash your things, your food, and then do not dry properly. It gets humidity. Then you have to go looking for this. I already wrote because it's about the same. Acid. The food bacteria can be killed by the acid. That's why some the ceviches can be made with the acid of the lime, But you need to be sure when you had your ceviche that the color has changed, because if not change the color, there is not enough acid for that. Like times, this is very important. Times that we had for our food to be in the fridge. And times it's a lot, Times is the time that you can keep food in the freezer, the time that you can keep food in the fridge, the time that the food can be on top at a cold table, the time of the food can be on top of the stove hot, It's also something that will produce bacteria if you go over those times, Then I will tell you, for freezer, it's no more than 8 months, even when there are recommendations that there are things that can last for 12 months or whatever, For freezer, no more than 8 months. Leftovers. Who likes to take leftovers home? Okay, leftovers, no more than 8 days. If you left them more than 8 days, who has left things more than 8 days at their fridges and then you see a little garden inside there? if you see the garden, throw away everything inside the fridge, because this is the thing, the leftovers or any food that goes inside the fridge, talking about the humidity, it has to be sealed, covered inside containers that are sealed, because sometimes you say, okay, I'm gonna put these tomatoes inside the fridge in this plate. Later, I will do something with it, and then the tomatoes goes there. The tomatoes start getting garden in there, and then it goes through the air inside your fridge, contaminating the whole food. Then it's important. Leftovers no longer than 8 days. I will say 3 days, but the norm says 8 days. And cold tables. For your parties or for the restaurants that you go, no longer than 2 hours. Yeah. Then there is sometimes beautiful buffets that you see there. Everything is setting cold and nice, nice and cold. But the only thing that goes cold is the bottom from those plates. Then the whole thing should be in an insert that goes inside. That's something that keeps cold the whole tray. That's the correct way to do it. It's not the way that many people do it, but that's the correct way to do it. And then any food that is not consumed after this has to be discarded. Don't even give it to the next person, because it could be another 8 days or another 8 months in their freezers, and it's a sad point, because we all wanted not to waste so much, and the things are not so cheap to be throwing them away. But I don't know what is cheaper, throw the food away or going 6 months with the doctor for infection, for salmonella or things like that, What other things are the ways to defreeze things that has been frozen. There are 6 ways to defrost. Defrost? How do you defrost? Defrost. I know speak Spanish, but not English. All these technical words. Okay, 2 are not allowed, but you need to know them. You know? First, not allowed. Room temperature. You know, sometimes you say, put the steaks on top of the sink. Let's go to buy something, and then when we come back, it will be defrosted. You are growing bacteria there. If you want to grow, well, just do it. The second one, it's a water bath. Oh, put it inside some water. Just leave it there as a tank of bacteria. Water bath. These 2, it's regular that several people do. I accuse myself that we did for some years at the restaurant. Thank God everybody's alive still. And so we knew we start not doing it, you know, but if someone that has been 20 years in the industry has done that, I mean, I bet around our area will be a lot of people doing it. And I don't judge them, but I would like use them to know it, you know. Then there is 4 other that are permitted, you know. The night before, take your freeze food and then put it down to the fridge. No, I'm okay. I will finish there and finish everything. Okay, then it will be, what should I say, fridge. Fridge. That's correct. Defrost, putting from the freezer into the fridge and let it defrost. It'll be perfect. Then water jet. It's not that you cannot put the food and it has to be packaged, you know. But water jet means that you open up the water from your sink and let the water go. It's a lot of throwing water away, you know. But also, if you do a water bath, you should be there moving, because that's what it causes, not the bacteria. But then another option is water jet. When you are in a rush, this works, but you throw away so much water. Then microwave. But these have a asterisk. It's not that you microwave, leave the food there, and then you cook later tonight. No, it's like you had this piece of chicken. You need its freezer. You put it in the microwave, just to have less frozen. Sorry, and you cook immediately. That's condition for defrost any food in the microwave. That you defrost and then you cook immediately. That's a condition. Cook immediately. And one more. You wrap your frozen thing and go straight to the pan, straight to the grill, straight to the pot, and then directly freeze to the stove, to the grill, you know, directly cooking from the freeze to the, you know, you grab 8, 10, 12 shrimp. You want the recipe? You put oil, garlic, throw the shrimp, freeze, cover with a lid, and it will be cooked, because it doesn't take so long. small pieces to cook, then directly to the cook. That's the other way to defrost. That's what I can tell you about how they freeze. And then there is something that the law tell us. It's a system that if you took for your house, and we do at our restaurants, we'll keep everyone away from illness. There are several systems, but this is one of the most important, and it's I think I will take the other. They say do not erase. This system is called LED. There are not bulbs. That's not like about. It's the cycles in Spanish. Lavar, enjuagar, desinfectar. It's a wash, rinse, and disinfect. In that order, because sometimes you think because you bring your tomatoes and then you rinse it with a little water, they are clean already. There is no bacteria for them, or for the cucumbers, or for any fruit that you will have, and it's not. You need to literal wash. Just grab your salt, wash the outside from your fruits and vegetables, and then you rinse them very well. Take off all the soap, and then you disinfect. There is several things that people use for disinfect. My recommendation is like microdin. How to use it? As the factory says. If it says 30 seconds, 40 seconds, a minute, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, it depends what you are going to disinfect. Follow those instructions, because they know what are the measures of things, that the chemicals that they put in that works for each thing. Don't make proofs by yourself, or use chlorine that says 6%. Okay, that's what it's recommended for all the food to be in this system. Wash, rinse, disinfect, and it helps a lot. Obviously, we have other things that helps to keep us away from illness. That is clean all over. But more than doing deep cleanings, when you are doing a deep cleaning, that means that you last a long time without doing cleaning. And you let the bacteria, you let the microvirus, you let everyone grow in your kitchen, then it's more like doing an everyday cleaning. Like us in the restaurant, it doesn't matter what time we finish the service out there, no one leaves until the kitchen is sparkling clean. We are not allowed to leave like, oh, it's just one plate. No, we cannot leave one plate without wash, because that produce animals. This animal that we won't talk about them, but you know what I'm talking about. This other system that we do use at the restaurant, that is called PEPS. It's also because of the siglas. First come, first goes. Primeras entradas, primeras salidas. Everything has to be tagged with that. And this is a recommendation for you when you go to any stores. I'm not gonna do commercials for La Bodega, Hawaii, Parisani, Oxxo, anyone. When you go, check caducity on your food that you are going to buy. That's what means first come, first goes, you know? If I buy 4 cans of tomato paste, you know, they either way, they storage in the back, the ones that come today, and then use the ones that they had it, or they tag it, everything, you know. And it's sometimes in the prep from the restaurant, for our restaurant, we had like the pomodoro sauce, and then when they see that they are like 5 left, they say we need to cook more tomorrow. Then we bring everything, but that container with the 51R, it's tagged with the date when they made it, and that has to go out first, and then the new one that we make today, if we need it today, we use it. If not, we keep using next day, you know? That's another system that will help a lot for your everyday, but also for people that owns restaurants or stores, because that way we don't waste so much food, because and that's why when I don't know if you ever hear that recommend you when you go to the super that you go and get the back things, the things that are in the back, because that are the ones that will last longer, you know, because they just came into the store, but are the last one that has to go, but we go and cheat and take it the ones that will last longer for us, you know. And that applies for everything, for storage, for fridge, for freezers, or for cold rooms, you know, but doesn't apply for vegetables or fruits. You know, it's hard to tag the tomatoes or the, you know, but that's why we talk about the color, smell, texture, you know. The smashy tomatoes that has just that little corner, you don't cook that and then use it. You toss it, the whole thing, please, because it's already contaminated, but we think it's not, you know. What can I else say? The pets are, as I say, they are not necessary, or the law doesn't ask the pets for the beverage, like the alcohol or the beer or the wine, but check once in a while your cans that you buy from the stores, because usually they are expired. I have taken back, no, I'm not gonna say the store, but I have taken back more than one store in Belak and Barra, sodas, especially cans, that they are expired, and sometimes it's the provider, not the store, the ones that keeps for longer. You know, they just received yesterday the Coca-Cola or the Sprite or whatever, and they already got it from the Coca-Cola expired. You know, then it's an exchange. You know, I have to change, the store has to change, and the Coke has to give the ones that are new. And obviously, no one wants to lose, and that's what has happened. You know, and then just be aware about it. It will help us everything and in that. We were talking about temperatures, you know. I'm just gonna go quickly. I think I'm short on time. For every preparation that has eggs, prep with eggs, temperature should be 68. I'm talking about centigrades. Okay. Every thing that it's already cooked or or our chickens, or our stuffed meats, or our cold cuts, that should be cooked at 74 degrees. Chicken, pre-made food. This is raw. And cooked. That guarantees you that if for somehow your food has any bacteria or something like that, it will kill when you cook it, you know. And well, other types of contamination that it's very, very common is the cross-contamination that we do in our kitchens when you use the same rag to clean the whole thing. You know, when you use the same cutting board to cook the whole meal, when you use the same knife to cook the vegetables and the chicken, and then you get the rag, and then you just pass it like this instead of going and then do lead to your knife, you know. And that's the cross-contamination, you know. Even when the food is not in bad condition, sometimes the chicken doesn't like the fish, and the fish doesn't like the meat, and the tomatoes doesn't like the lobster, you know. Then keep organized and clean. Our way to cleaning is one of the best ways that you can find to keep yourself away from any ETA, right? Any enfermedad de transmisión alimentaria. What else I can tell you? Okay, I got to the point that I don't want to talk, but I want to talk. Pest control, and it's gonna be the last thing. Yes. When you and this is a rule for at least my restaurant. As I say at the beginning, I can control what my kitchen does, but I cannot control what my providers taking care of our provisions are. Then if they ever find a little cockroach in my kitchen, they have to tell me immediately, and doesn't matter if it's only one. You know, these little ones are divided by two, the big ones, and when you find one of those big ones, you don't have to be so scared, because those are for those goes inside the tubes and the piping, you know, and they will get back there, and those are, well, they do contamination and everything, but you cannot do much about it by just sealing all the drains in your sinks, in your showers, and wherever you had in your houses, because they come from inside and they should go back where they belong, you know. And the second ones are the little tiny ones that are called Germany cockroach, you know. Those are the ones that are very dangerous, because when you see one here in their tummy, they have already 51 more. And then when you see one, it's because there is a colony inside your kitchen or inside wherever you see it, because they are night animals. When they go out during the days, because the colony is full. Then please call pest control and eradicate as soon as you can, you know, because those animals, they like to spread faster, you know, and they like to grow in hot and humid ambience, you know. That I have to tell you, I don't want to tell you, but it's what you invite me today to tell you what is the correct way to keep you away, and to manipulate drinks and beverage and food and everything. Talking about ice, you know, if you buy from the factories, there are specialized for that. Most of them are checked by the water that they use for make them, but also recommend you if you can produce your own ice, it will be perfect in your fridge, in your freezer. I hope all this information is value for you. If anybody has any question, I hope I can answer, and I'm ready. Thank you so much. I have someone telling me that in the back in the table there are cards from the restaurant. For the ones that doesn't know me, all already says my name is Cristina. My husband and I, we own the Besame Mucho restaurant that is in Barra de Navidad, right next door from the church. And we have every Tuesday I do cooking classes, and those are not no, I'm just kidding. But those are more for fun. Those are not for know how to manipulate, but I make everyone wash their hands before they put their aprons and have fun and cook in our kitchen. Thank you.
So if we have any questions, put your hand up and I'll move the mic over to you. So just 1 second, sir, because we'd like to hear the question. One, two, there we go.
My question is about when you go out to buy a drink and they have ice in the drink. How do you know whether that ice is okay? The hilo.
As I say, if it's a cube ice in your drink, it's secure that they buy it from the factory, from the ice factory. You know, I will be more aware if they make you, if they give you homemade ice, because then you don't know what kind of water they use it to produce. But if it's a cube ice, it should come from one of the factories, or from the OXXO, or from Bodega, or whoever sells ice that are qualified to produce ice.
Anybody else? Any other questions? Oh, we have a hand right here. It's a little closer.
When you wash your vegetables and fruits, initially, the first wash, can you use tap water and soap?
Tap water, yes, and soap, yes. That's why after that you will disinfect. And it depends on what kind of fruits and vegetables, but I will say if you are not going to take good care of perfectly dry them, do it at the moment that you will use them.
And then the other part to that question is, when I'm using the disinfectant, I've been using it in bottled water. Is that correct, or could I use tap water?
It's both ways, it's correct. You know, if you feel safe using bottled water, it's correct. But if you feel comfortable taking tube water, it's okay, because it's a disinfectant.
So,
it will disinfect the food and the water.
Okay, I got it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, friend. Don't put me on.
I'm asking about leaving eggs out on the counter.
Leave ants?
Eggs.
Exactly. I will recommend you to put inside the fridge even when the stores have them out.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
I know in Mexico the store doesn't put the eggs inside the fridge, but I will recommend as soon as you get from the store, put it in your fridge.
Thank you, Christine. Your comments, especially from a restaurateur's aspect about how kitchens have to run, they were fascinating, and we learned a lot. Thank you. I do have a couple pointers from a consumer's viewpoint, and that is there's some things to think about how our own systems work. Our stomachs protect us from food poisoning by the amount of acid they have in there. Stomach acid is very high in our stomachs. And have you ever wondered why Mexicans put lime on everything? That's to raise the acid level as they are eating things. Now, how do you decrease the acid, dilute the acid in your stomach? Drinking a lot of water. So if you're a real health nut and you guzzle, especially when you're eating, you're going to really change the pH of your stomach. And beer does not help. Beer and white wine and soda does not help. However, red wine will lower the pH of your stomach. I know, that's a little known fact, right? Alcohol also, though, involves contact time, right? You can't just wash some alcohol over something, or you know where else they do this? You ever see those cows up there that they milk? Oh, well, it's safe to drink because we put some tequila in it. Well, first of all, we don't know what the alcohol content of the tequila is, but it also depends on how long that alcohol is able to be in contact with the bacteria that's in that milk up there. And raw milk is a special concern for listeria and also, in some cases, tuberculosis. And you know, the United States has a big listeria outbreak right now. And so it won't necessarily kill you, but it could ruin your vacation. And I don't think you ought to go up to that place on any terms. So, no, I don't care how much food. My husband's disagreeing with me. The other thing I am real skeptical about is ceviche. You know, your raw fish and raw hands have provided that ceviche better be loaded with lime juice, and that lime juice better have had plenty of time in there to kill the bacteria around that raw fish. What else was I going to talk about? I had a couple more points.
Give me the mic, and I was going to say that the ceviche is really good, though. Really good.
Oh, sanitizers? You don't need hand sanitizers. You don't need those little bottles in your pocket or anything. Most restaurants here have sinks, and soap and water are excellent disinfectants because they simply lower the surface tension on your skin, and that bacteria gets washed right out into the sink. You don't need hand sanitizer, but there's a reason why you see Mexicans always washing their hands before they eat. That's a very good way to disinfect your skin. So be sure and wash your hands. And I had another thing, but Alex wants the mic back.
We have another question right here, and then we'll go to the back.
Christine, you mentioned oxygen. Oh yeah, I haven't finished that, right? When the bacteria die, when you put in ambience where there is oxygen, you know, that's why the bacteria will be killed when you freeze things, you know, because there is lots of oxygen inside. And let me check my notes because. And thank you for the addition to this, because I had so much information that I forgot about that. Wash your hands, but that's something that you already learned up in the States or Canada or whatever are your countries. What is the oxygen? It gets lost. High oxygen will keep the bacteria out from our food, you know. Then when I talk about these 6 things that it's where the bacteria will reproduce faster in the food if you don't storage the properly way in the humid, if it's more than the humidity that needs, and the oxygen, it will kill the bacteria instead than reproduce the bacteria. That's why oxygen, and that's fine inside the fridge, you know, and it's strong. That's why oxygen it's recommended to kill the bacteria or whatever.
So my question's back to eggs. My understanding is that the eggs do not need refrigeration if they've not been washed. The natural eggs have a natural protection, and then if you're going to refrigerate them, you should wash them. Am I correct? And do I need to use a microderm on eggs if I'm washing them?
I will just do lead for the, but not disinfectation, you know, because you are not gonna eat the skin from the eggs, and it's where the bacteria can be. And I wash my eggs as I'm using them, not when I put it inside the fridge. That's what we do.
Okay, I think we've got like 1 minute left. Any other questions? Before we have one more question right here. Then. This may be the last one.
Does the microdyne kill parasites?
It's something that I cannot answer. Sorry.
Any other question? Oh, there's a gentleman right here that would like to ask.
When you hard boil an egg and you leave it in the shell, how long will it last compared to taking it out of the shell?
If you don't refrigerate, I say 2 hours. If you refrigerate, I say 8 days, but I don't think it will last 8 days.
And will it last longer in the shell or out of the shell after you cook?
In the shell, without peel. Without peel.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I think we have a wrap then. Thank you very much.
We don't take inventory until they come off.